What do you think Twitter's biggest impact has been?
Well, I mean, from my perspective, I think that Twitter's biggest impact has shown us that it really doesn't matter how sophisticated our algorithms get or how many machines we add to the network, that if Twitter is to be a triumph, it's not to be a triumph of technology, but a triumph of humanity. What we've seen people using it for during times of crisis and to raise awareness and funds for charities and to, in journalism and just in everyday life has shown us that people are basically good, and when you give them a tool to do good things, they'll prove it to you on a daily basis, and that has been sort of a big inspiration for all of us working on Twitter.
Well, if it isn't Mr. Twitter himself.
Oh, well, thanks for not calling me the Chief Twit.
Could I have a Stoli Gala? Rocks. The president just ordered a Caesar salad. The technology to reach millions, and this is the best he can do? Not every tweet can change the world. Has it ever occurred to you that maybe Twitter is just a constant stream of meaningless babble? You're not seeing the big picture. Astronauts are tweeting from space, and the pace of business changed forever. I guess that's progress. Speaking of progress, the Caesar went back. Too many anchovies.
Actually, I'd like to start off with this photo that was taken 30 seconds after I got married. I look like the happiest person in the world. My wife looks like she made the biggest mistake of her life. This is just a totally classic photo because literally 30 seconds. And I was trying to tell her, I was like, look, don't worry about it. It's like mistakes can turn out great. When we started Twitter, it was, we kind of did it by accident and it turned into a whole big thing. Like, come on, it's going to be great. It's uncomfortable, but you have to leave the door open to the unknown, and you have to be willing to accept that you might need to change your whole plan, or that there's something that's going to come along that's going to be awesome, and you need to just sort of leave that space, hold that space for the future. I made the decision that it would be more worthwhile for me to drop out of college and take this job. So I took the job, and on the very first day of work, I went into the art director's office, I walked up to his desk, and he didn't even say anything. He silently reached behind him. He took down one of those Pantone color guidebooks. He opened it up slowly. He flipped to the section of like brown colors and sort of mocha colors, and he tore one of them out, put it on his desk, and with one finger he slowly slid it across towards me, and he said, "That's how I take my coffee." And I was like, I dropped out of college. Oh my God, this guy is gonna be a huge jerk. And then he said, "I'm kidding, I'm joking." And I was like, oh, thank God.
What could we do with SMS? How could we merge sort of social with SMS and do something really simple with those limited amounts of characters? Because SMS is available on every mobile phone in the world. So we built the first working version of Twitter in a couple of weeks, and we showed it to our colleagues, and they were all very underwhelmed. The chief complaint was Twitter is not useful, to which Evan said, well, neither is ice cream. Should we ban ice cream and all joy? We were just having a lot of fun. There was a lot of little moments that were happening while we were playing with this that were bringing joy to us. For one example is that my wife and I had just bought this tiny little fixer-upper house in Berkeley, and I decided that I'd watched enough This Old House as a kid that I could rip up all the carpeting and expose the beautiful hardwood floors underneath. And so I started ripping up all the carpeting, and there was no hardwood floors underneath. But I had to keep going, so I was tearing it, sweating. It was during a heat wave. My phone vibrated in my pocket, and it was a sort of an early tweet from Evan, and it said, "Sipping Pinot Noir after a massage in Napa Valley." And I just started laughing out loud at the discordance of this, and of course my wife thought I was completely insane. But the fact that it was bringing us joy was enough for me to just keep working on it. When I was a little kid, I thought that doing good things was something that you were just supposed to do because it was part of being a person. You were supposed to do nice things. Like if someone was collecting money for some cause, you were supposed to give them some change. But I didn't ever expect that whatever that cause was going to get solved, or that whatever that problem was going to get solved. I didn't expect that 2 years later someone would like call me up and say, "Biz, thank you so much for the 50 cents. Poverty solved." Then I met several years ago, the people at Product Red, and they showed me this amazing thing. They showed me, this is a picture of the same boy, like 3 months after starting these retroviral pills that they give to patients in Africa who have HIV/AIDS. And what's amazing about this, as these people get well, they're able to go back to work or go back to school or go back to being a dad or a mom, and the entire geoeconomic area becomes stabilized, and then they can go on to another one. And so they actually are having a measurable positive impact in fighting the disease. But the lesson I took from working with these folks, the thing that sort of dawned on me, is that altruism has a compound impact. Like a bank account that has compound interest will grow to giant sums over years. The impact that you can have helping people, the earlier you start, the graph just goes way, way up over time. And that's also true, I think, for companies. I think startups and companies in general have a responsibility to address issues in the world and become part of trying to make the world a better place.